Hello and welcome to Drilling Deeper at mining.com.au. I'm Oriel Morrison. Joining me now is Dan Denbow. Dan is the CEO and President of Signature Resources. Dan, good to have you with us today. Welcome.
Thank you very much. I'm glad to be here.
Now, you've got some results to share with us from the Springfield program.
Yeah, so we put those out today. These are very important projects. They're not flashy in terms of results. They're not really, people don't get excited like they do drill holes where you put up a big result, have this big grade and all this activity. But they're important because they just continue to fill our knowledge bank on the Lingman Lake Project. And a couple examples of that. And we had 5 areas that we're pulling channel samples and grab samples from. When you look at area 1 and same for area 3, there's areas that have been undrilled or lightly drilled, and trying to understand if that grade's coming to surface, because we have outcrops where we have taken these samples. And what we noticed, especially in these 2 areas, is that there's been this recessive weathering in troughs that have formed, and that weathering is so we didn't have grade where we did the samples, but it's because those areas are weathered, and so it's already taken away that gold, but it showed the structure, so it confirmed for us that structure is coming up. That gold's just already been weathered away, but we know it's down below it, so it helps us targeting. In area 3, even more specifically, or more importantly, we had 2 great drill holes in our last campaign, LM 2409, LM 2410, that showed wide intercepts, good grade, and we had outcrops close to where those intercepts were. We were hoping we could tie it all the way to the surface. And again, we went in and it had been excessively weathered. We had these troughs. And I've always been struggling a bit with, why are we just now seeing this south zone show up here? Why wasn't other drill holes? And then when we look at this trough, and then we went back and looked at historical drilling in the 80s done by others, and they had false starts. They had holes that were begun and abandoned. They'd set a pad, set the casing, move, and because they could never get good footing because of this bouldered area, this excessive weathering, and they could never start the holes. So they always moved the drill holes to the north. And I think they always skipped over the zone because they moved too far to the north. Our holes were just a little south of this. We were able to get good footing and did it. And the hope is that this has showed us we need to go back south a bit and try to come back at a different angle, and we can prove up this south zone that is just west of this post-mineralization dike that we do a lot talking about. So that's exciting for us.
So Dan, are those the plans then for your future drilling and your future exploration?
Yeah, most definitely. So we just put out a resource a month ago. It's our maiden resource. 762,000 ounces is great. It actually showed, even when you raise the cutoff grade, there's a 500,000 ounce starter pit at nearly 2 grams, 1.99 grams, right at surface. I mean, that's valuable. I mean, you can run an NPV on that and shows a very good return on that. But that's not where we're stopping. That's not where we're going further than that. We want to take it from 762. We think this should be 2 to 3 million ounces, and that's where we can take it. So yeah, our drilling next, take it deeper, draw the pit deeper. But this west area, that's where we don't have the drill density that we have east of this diabase dike. Fill in that east, and I think we'll get that to pull in, and I think that'll be very exciting. There's more story over there that needs to be told.
What's a timeline on this, Dan? What sort of investors, what sort of milestones, I suppose, are investors going to need to watch out to?
Yeah, we'd love to try to get more drilling done this year. We can drill probably till second week of December, maybe first week, depending on the weather. We can drill all year, but it gets so cold, and you have to start worrying about hoses freezing. You have to do so much extra work in the cold. It just gets too expensive. It almost doubles our drilling costs. So we'd like to cut off early December. If we got started in 30, 45 days, we could get probably 3,000 meters done. That's maybe what the clock's running on us a bit, and then come back and start drilling again next year. We'd love to get about 15,000 meters done before we come back and try to do another resource. That would focus on that west area, that would focus on driving deeper and sharply expanding this resource. We think the potential is there.
Okay. Okay. So let me ask you then, in terms of financing these future operations, what are your plans? Do you have capital raise in sight?
We're a junior miner. We're always broke. Uh, Meaning you always need capital. You always need money to drive these things. So yes, to do these drilling programs, we do need to top up the coffers a bit. We do need to get that done. Everybody's on holiday at the end of August up here in this hemisphere. Um, so maybe try to kick that off in September, get people back to the desk, find some money, and then kick off the drilling and get that done. So yeah, everybody's in junior space. You're always hungry.
Always hungry. Always. All right, Dan. Well, lovely to chat to you today. Thank you so much for the update, and we look forward to chatting again probably around September.
Thank you very much.